go live right now. And hello. I'm Dan Salem live on the BuzzChomp YouTube channel. Dan Salem live on the BuzzChomp YouTube channel. I'm here to talk to you live about the NFL draft, which is in 2 short weeks, and the New England Patriots. But first, I'm going to go live over here on Facebook in 3 and 2 and 1. Hello. I'm Dan Salem live on YouTube at the Dan Salem, live over on BuzzChomp's YouTube channel. Always at the Dan Salem on Twitter and Instagram. I'm here to talk the NFL live, so join the debate, join my stream here, and send me questions. We're talking the NFL Draft 2018. It's in only 2 weeks. Can you believe it? 2 weeks to the NFL Draft. And as my featured photo description, etc., no longer indicates, this is going to start and probably end with the Patriots and Bill Belichick, because they have been one of the most interesting teams this offseason. They have a lot of picks in this draft, which means they can make more moves. And we all know Bill Belichick loves to make trades. Generally, he trades to garner more picks. So he'll trade a high pick for a slightly lower pick and then double down and get some more extra ones. And he stockpiles for later years, constantly stockpiling. So he always has a lot and always has a lot of assets to deal. Speaking of dealing your assets, New England traded Brandon Cooks not that long ago, and kind of scratching your head being like, he was their best wide receiver or second best. Who's going to be wide receiver for the Patriots? But they got a great pick for that. You got an additional first-round pick, and they recently just signed wide receiver Jordan Matthews to a 1-year deal for $1 million. So they saved a ton of money with Cooks for Matthews. And then they got picks too. Oh, sorry, that's my daughter. She's pulling things off the shelves. No worries. So you wondered, who's Tom Brady going to throw to? I have a feeling Jordan Matthews will be a steal in fantasy if he's overlooked, or he will go for a lot of money because everyone knows Tom Brady likes to throw the ball to his new guy, and that's Jordan Matthews. I guess the Patriots don't like to dish out the big contracts. They didn't think that they were going to – they knew that they weren't going to pay Brandon Cooks what he was going to be worth and want next offseason. So they traded him. It's a shrewd move because Tom Brady's only got a couple of years left. And you need to surround him with enough talent so that they can win it all. Granted, they've been there 2 years in a row, 1-1. But it seemed like, what? But then Jordan Matthews comes in. And Patriots constantly make their wide receivers good. So that's a great move. Bill Belichick doing it again. In the running back department, they let I'm blanking on his name. They let Deion Lewis. They let Deion Lewis walk. Their leading rusher from a year ago. You wonder. He was good. He wasn't particularly expensive. And he went and signed elsewhere because he earned his money. I was hoping that the Patriots would bring back Lewis. He was great in the passing and the running game. I would have liked to have seen him continue his success there. Instead, they are going to be having a visit from former Giants running back Orleans Darkwa, who was a free agent. What a snatch-up find for New England if they end up signing him. He had a decent time, 750 yards last year for the Giants, only on 170 carries. That's just what they need. That's like their sweet spot. Again, they could easily have an upgrade at the position and save a lot of money in the process because Darkwood could be just as good as Lewis in this offense. Easily just as good as Lewis. So I got to, again, more kudos to Bill Belichick. That's what this is, right? We're starting off with Bill Belichick kudos because he keeps checkmating everybody. He finds the cheaper, almost as good option and then gets more picks and brings in the young guys and turns them into his own men who are amazing over and over and over again. He has 2 first-round picks right now. Do they use them both? Does he deal one to a needy team and trade back? Does he use both to trade up? That seems unlikely. It's not the Patriots way. Oh, hey, you're tickling me. Who's tickling me? Is that you, Maddie? Are you tickling me? Are you tickling me? All right. So, who do the Patriots? What picks do they actually have? They have the number 23 and the number 31 pick. Oh, thank you. There's no goldfish left, though. Hi. You saying hi? My daughter's saying hello. Want to come up and say hi? Okay. Oh, you kicked it. That's what happens when we're live. Okay. Okay, let's get you on camera. Come on up. We're talking the Patriots, your mama's hometown team. Oh, I don't need to know about the quiche croissant. Anyways, so New England, they have the 23rd and the 31st pick in the first round. Those are money picks. All right, you got to get back down. I just wanted you to say hi. Those are money picks. As a Jets fan, I'm nervous when the Patriots have 2 first-round picks to work with. I'm not saying they're going to keep them. I actually think that they'll only keep one and trade the other. They'll probably trade that 31st pick to a team that wants to get a quarterback at the very front end of the second round. They can get it at the very end of the first round. New England will trade that pick. I'm not picking you up. You were kicking the camera. Okay, hold on. Hi. So New England's got 2 first-round picks. They also have 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick, then 2 6s and a 7. So they pick 23rd, 31st, 43rd, and 63rd. That's nutty. That's nutty. That is 4 starters for the Patriots, making their chances of returning to the Super Bowl that much better. It's just not fair as a Jets fan. It's just not fair. But they aren't the team with the most picks by any means. That would be the Green Bay Packers, who I wrote yesterday in NFL Spin Zone, made some interesting moves this offseason, and they really need Jimmy Graham to come through for them because they got rid of Jordy Nelson, and they haven't replaced him yet, per se. And they still have Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb, who are excellent wide receivers. But Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers was lost last year, so they kind of missed out. They want to get to the playoffs. They want to win another Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. They've improved the defense. The running game is still questionable. And the passing game, if they don't get vintage Jimmy Graham, is going to need another target, another big guy who's got a double team. I don't think teams are going to just double him if he's not up to his former expectations. Now, Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football, you would think that would get you there. But not necessarily, because Russell Wilson didn't quite get him there. So the Packers, they have a lot of picks. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded up to snatch a top-tier running back or receiver. Maybe even some offensive line protection, depending on how far they want to move. I mentioned the Seahawks and Jimmy Graham's lack of success there. There's rumblings. No, not rumblings. The Seahawks are meeting with it's me. The Seahawks. That's just a message popping up on the computer. Don't worry about the ding. The Seahawks are meeting with the top quarterbacks in the draft. Now, Russell Wilson is incredible. He's also coming up on a major payday. Seattle is not known for dishing out the money. Now, you'd think they'd make the exception for their franchise quarterback, yet this team has quietly slipped into rebuild mode, and I don't know if they're going to go all out that way. Probably not with Wilson on the team this year, but if they're able to deal him or they franchise tag him and then get compensation when another team signs him long term, because someone will, they are rebuilding. So they may be rebuilding right now, and we just don't want to believe it because Russell Wilson's there. But if you recall, he was the majority of their offense last year. He was their leading rusher. That's right. He beat every other running back on the team in rushing yards last season. That is ridiculous. So keep an eye on what may or may not happen with Pete Carroll and those Seahawks. The Rams have overtaken them. The 49ers are shooting up, and Arizona is a wild card. Seattle might be a 9-7 football team again if they're lucky, and that means, do you keep your franchise quarterback? I say yes because I'm a Jets fan and I've never really known one in my lifetime. But teams are willing to give up their franchise quarterback in order to rebuild and find another one cheaper option, because when you're a rookie, you're cheap. When you're coming off that deal, you're going to get your big payday if you're Russell Wilson. Someone is going to pay him. Now imagine Russell Wilson becoming available and flexing over to the Giants, who probably are done with Eli Manning after this season. The Giants may or may not draft a quarterback with the second pick. If they don't, and Wilson's available, oh my goodness, that is like unbelievable circumstance. They would pay, if everyone would go all out for him if he's actually available. I don't know. Maybe they may trade him. Do the Giants trade their rookie quarterback that they draft this year for Russell Wilson? I would make that trade. Because I'm not sure their rookie's not going to be playing. He's redshirting behind Eli. So unless you think you got the next stud, why don't you trade for a stud? Interesting circumstance. Bill Belichick, back to where we started. He needs to find an heir apparent to Tom Brady. They don't have that on the team anymore. They had it in Jimmy Garoppolo, and they traded him because they weren't going to pay to keep him around while Brady's still serviceable and their starter. Serviceable as in MVP caliber. Even if he's below that, he's still their guy. We'd have to see a dramatic shift in his abilities for him to not be playing there anymore. Or he'd have to have like a Drew Bledsoe injury and be freak, and then someone else will swoop in. But that doesn't happen very often either. So the Patriots are likely going to draft a quarterback. I have a feeling they'll do it with their third-round pick, unless they absolutely love someone in the second round. I don't see them taking a first-round quarterback. That would be a stretch for this team, especially with Tom Brady. Still got 2 more good years left in him easily. So keep an eye on New England, Seattle. What are they doing at quarterback? And then, cat fight. Literally, cat fight. Our cats in this building, they had a lot of friends, and their friends moved away, i.e. the owner of them left and took them with them. So now I think we got some angry cats, friendless, kind of grumpy. It's been a couple of weeks. They're out without their friends. Now they're fighting. Shame. It's a real shame nature. So New England, I think that they're going to go quarterback. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks. There's 7 top quarterbacks in the NFL draft 2 weeks away. We're going to hear a lot about them over the next 2 weeks, and rightfully so. They are meeting with a lot of football teams because a lot of teams are looking to draft a quarterback. I could rattle off 10 easily. It's not worth it. It's easier to name the teams that aren't looking for a quarterback because there are not that many. Well, I mean, maybe 50-50 split. Regardless, those 7 guys, they are not all going to be very good players. Now, ESPN has been running an article. History tells us that teams are awful at drafting quarterbacks. They run it every single year. They just update it. It's true, but the top 2 quarterbacks in the draft over the last 5 years have generally been average or better for at least 2 years. Think about it. Carson Wentz is doing well. Jared Goff's doing well. You keep taking it back. You keep taking it back. These players are doing well. Mariota's doing well. Jameis Winston's doing well. The top 2 quarterbacks in the drafts are doing well. They're not all superstars, but they're good, and they make you feel good about your team. So that speaks volumes to the Browns, Jets, and Giants in the top 3 picks. Because the top 2 quarterbacks have done really well. But once you move beyond that, there's a lot more risk and ambiguity. So you think these are NFL teams, right? So they're good enough at their job to hone in and all pretty much agree who the top 2 quarterbacks are. When they stand out, they stand out. And most people think Sam Darnold is one of those 2. Josh Rosen, there's a risk-reward. Josh Allen, Wyoming, risk-reward. Same with Baker Mayfield, risk-reward. Now, my personal feeling is that they're like kind of Now, ESPN's pushing Josh Allen today. They got a spotlight on him. They'll probably be spotlighting all the rest of the guys too. But he has had accuracy issues. Mayfield, off the field issues, and he's short. Allen, accuracy issues. Now, Rosen, I don't too much credibility to his off the field issues. And I'm not sure the accuracy thing's really fair either. You just have to think sample size, who's their competition been. At least Rosen and Darnold both play in Pac-12. That's high caliber competition. Same with Mayfield. Allen, you wonder, out of Wyoming, what are you seeing versus what are you going to get? Now, he's supposed to have the best stats, the best physical attributes. That is a red flag to me because I've heard it a long time before, and it is done in players who didn't make the transition to the NFL because their physical attributes weren't enough when you need it up here to play along with it. That being said, I do think all seven, what did I said seven, all four are going in the top 10. Sorry, I don't remember. There's more than four, but all four are going top 10. I think that the Browns and the Giants and the Jets will all select a quarterback. But I've been saying this for quite a while now. I actually think the Browns will select a quarterback at 4. They are going to do this because they actually added a lot of quality players this offseason, and they had a nice young core to begin with because they've been drafting very high for the last 3 or 4 seasons. So it behooves them to take the best player available, period, because they have a really strong young core. They've brought in solid veteran leadership and free agency, and they pick for it. Pick the best player available because with Tyrod Taylor, they don't technically need a quarterback this year. Now, yes, they need a quarterback, but I like Tyrod Taylor. I think that he could be a good quarterback for another 3-4 years. Browns have him. So they take the best player available. That would either be Saquon Barkley, who could be a transcendent running back, or that's Chubbs on the defensive side of the football, where Browns really could use a defensive leader and playmaker. That's who I think they go with number 1. That leaves the Giants and the Jets with quarterbacks in back-to-back for New York. Who they take each, that's tricky. I think the Giants may actually go for Josh Allen out of Wyoming, the project, because they have Eli Manning for 1 to 2 seasons. He can learn behind Eli, someone who has had a ton of success in the league and seemingly overachieved his expectations, outplayed his own abilities. Because when the moments, the hard plays, he always plays really strong in the biggest moments, even though he has never been like a dominant. Like he's had good stats, don't get me wrong, but he's never been a consistently horrible quarterback. He's had good seasons and great postseasons. This is someone Josh Allen could really learn for because Josh Allen has the attributes. He's raw. Manning is a Manning. Manning has Super Bowl winning experience. That is a perfect combination to form Allen. So I can see the Giants going for Allen, which leads the Jets to go probably with USC Darnold. I think Darnold's going to break the USC curse because USC has had issues with their quarterbacks of late. They have not had the success that people want. It's about time one did. They've been touting this kid for a couple seasons. I think he's the real deal. And then the Browns will follow up with the third quarterback off the board at number 4. And I think they take Baker Mayfield. Actually, no, not Baker Mayfield. Josh Rosen, sorry. They're going to take Rosen, who is excellent. And Rosen could ease in and probably unseat Tyrod by halfway through the year. Darnold with the Jets, he can ease in and unseat Josh McCown halfway through the year. Again, McCown's an excellent mentor. That's the great thing about all 3 of these teams picking high. Eli Manning, Josh McCown, and even Tyrod Taylor, they're all AFC East quarterbacks. So they've been directly or indirectly competing with Tom Brady. They have a lot of veteran experience to impart on these rookie quarterbacks. These are great situations for all 3 players. You don't always get to say that. I truly believe it this year. And then I think it'll be the Dolphins who take the 4th quarterback in the draft because are they picking 6? No, Colts have 6. I think they're picking 7. They're going to take a quarterback because Tannehill, off his knee injury, I'm just not sure he's going to keep it together. Sorry, not sorry. Any questions from the live audiences before I wrap things up on this Tuesday evening? 2 weeks till the NFL draft. Oh my God, 2 weeks till the draft. 2 freaking weeks. And it seems like every single week somebody gets signed. There are still free agent players getting signed every week. I always would expect like a full lull at this point for the next 2 weeks where you're buckling down on evaluating and then you sign after the draft. But Patriots signing players. My Jets signing players. My Jets have 17 wide receivers on their roster right now. Most teams have about 9 right now. They won't carry them all into the year. They'll carry 6 or 7, depending on how many are on special teams and flex. But they have 17 because they want somebody to step up and be the number 1. They've got a couple of guys that could be really good number 2s, a couple of guys that be great number 3s. We don't know who can be that number 1. My money's on Quincy Enunwa coming off the neck injury. If he recovers fully, returns to form, he can be a number 1 for the Jets. I'm calling it right now. I'm Dan Salem, live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, talking the NFL. Live over on Facebook at the Dan Salem. Live on YouTube, BuzzChomp's YouTube channel. YouTube.com/BuzzChomp. At the Dan Salem on Facebook. At the Salem on Twitter. At the Dan Salem on the Instagram. And Pillow Talk TV. Always online. I'm here 5 p.m. Pacific live, and I'll be back next Tuesday with 1 week before the draft. Thank you, and good night. Peace.